All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Pluto, episode 5.
All right, we've
Okay.
got Adolf going to his protected facility place with Gesicht.
Yep.
His family's already en route or is already safe.
Or was before we got some message that, oh, hey, if you want to save your family, kill him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All
that's where we're at.
That's just a slight issue, you know? There's that. But then we also have this whole situation with Dr. Tenma being like, hey, maybe don't have robots actually get closer and closer to people, because if you make them have the full range of emotions, that's the bad stuff too.
Well, it's also just what you need in order to do this. So
Right.
you just can't do this.
You fundamentally can't have them be just like people if they aren't also capable of doing all the atrocious things that humans can do.
Right. Just feeling,
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
Oh, God. These feelings are so dangerous.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So don't have those.
So don't have those. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fun. Let's see how that works out for you.
Also, the phrasing of like the no, we all robots, have emotions like suppressed. It's like, wait a minute, hang on.
So
you're
all
saying-
robots have emotions.
Yeah, like that fundamentally is just
no
kind
wonder
of
robots
breaking my brain.
need rights then. Like,
Yeah, right. Like, you're saying that not. Oh,
I turn
it's-
off my PC.
It's
It doesn't need
difficult
rights.
to program them
if
to
I'm-
have emotion. No. They already do, and we specifically program them to not.
Yeah, I turn off my PC. It doesn't feel sad. But if I turn off my PC and it's like, okay, remember me. It's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah, right.
Okay, maybe.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Feel free to turn me on the next time you need a friend. It's like,
That line.
yeah. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
all right, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, okay. Gesicht?
Yeah, I think so. Holy shit.
Well,
That's not some like
also apparently that, memory's not gone.
right.
So he was able to think back on that. It's a front.
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm doing.
In a lot of ways, if he's capable of murder, maybe being with you isn't a good idea. He doesn't know the circumstances. Wow.
Oh my God.
So no wonder he doesn't think he's safe. They know where his safe house is.
Yep.
Yeah, so if they know where this is, they don't need to do anything to them.
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
So I joined a cult,
yeah.
just as you do. Cool. From one killer to another.
Uh-huh. I love how
It's the idea of like his brother was a killer.
right. Yeah. Terrible person, but also like
No,
Yeah.
a killer, Jacob. You kill someone that's killing people. That's what's the difference between a person and a robot? What's the difference? Interesting. Yeah. Whoa.
okay.
That's cool.
Fascinating.
So he's been actively like hiding it even though it's
Wow. And with that weapon.
oh my God. Yeah.
That's okay. Because I guess I'd always figured that it was a like, oh, weapon that powerful, you use it on a vehicle, and oops, it killed the person inside too.
Right.
But nope.
Nope.
That was terminate with extreme prejudice.
Mm-hmm.
異常な電磁波だ。手伝いましょうか。お前にそんなことはできねえ。確かに、私にそういう回路はあります。
Very human phrase, but works perfectly here rather than a.
Yep.
徴兵を拒否したお前が正しかったのかも。だがあの戦争は戦いじゃなかった。
Yeah, keep going with the backstory. Yeah.
戦ったろう。
Ooh.
最後に見かけた時、彼はずっと手を洗っていた。
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Oh my god. That's such powerful imagery.
That is incredible. And I think, is that brow?
Yeah, I think so. It's the same face. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, obviously they're in their, like, bigger suits and everything, but...
Uh-huh.
お前に罪はない。殺される理由はない。でもアトムは殺された。罪のないアトムはなぜ殺し。
Well, that's where you could get into the indirect guilt, right?
Yeah.
If Adam was the
Stood by
poster
and
child,
did nothing.
Sure. In addition to potentially still being a pawn to help the war happen,
Yeah.
even if you're not directly killing.
Hey, if you beat him here, or if you lose even worse here, then the score is settled in some ways. Okay. Alright, here's the beast at the center. Okay.
All right. But, dude, you're so small by comparison.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just trying to wrestle one arm.
There's the 14th. Yep.
神にとって人間は失敗作だったのだ。人間にとって変われる何か。
Oh, shit. Okay.
あれは虐殺ではない。進化の過程だ。
Damn.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
The fight's not over.
Okay.
No, don't help, don't help, don't help.
Well, that's over.
Oh. Yep, yep.
神が選択するのはプルートだけだ。
Holy shit. Just instinct, fear, panic.
ゲジヒト回線が遮断されている。ゲジヒト応答してくれ。ゲジヒト
Yeah, he's not listening.
間違いありません。うちの子です。人間はこういう時あんな風に泣くんですね。なんとなくわかります。ロボット用心理制度が
Holy shit.
この子がうちに来るまで
Yeah.
わかりました。今日から捜査に加わることになったゲジヒトです。よろしく。いいのかね。
Yeah, he was effectively going around killing robot kids.
今回のイーコマイ3の破壊後に犯行が起きている。これまでに発生した誘拐
Okay.
Whoa.
は毎回システムを破壊した後犯行に及んで私が捜査チームに加わったことをメディアに流すなんて陽動作戦だ。
But this is all tied in with the cult to tear him down in the public eye. Yep.
過去3年間の故障率は3.26%で事件発生以降のがあれ3.25%。
Something fucky with how the stats are being reported.
Yeah. Very dirty.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it?
Is she getting targeted?
Uh-huh. Shit. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right.
And that's how it all happened. Mm-hmm. Because this all happened really recently. Like,
Right.
fuck.
Okay.
The build up to it. Sending us back there to every little detail as he figures it out and then realizes.
And now, how do you go back to the safe house?
Wow.
Okay.
So does he have the weapon? And is he in hiding? Waiting for the ambush. Oh, shit.
Oh. Cool, but that's good. That means your family could actually be safe.
No, this is not necessarily legit, though.
That's true.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. So they bet that he wouldn't actually do it, and so they're like, we gotta have insurance.
It's gone.
Oh shit.
Yep, he was
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh fuck.
It's fake just to get them all in one place and move
Uh-huh.
them.
Yeah. Outside of the house.
Oh,
Oh shit. Oh no.
All right, here we go.
Yep.
Oh. He knows exactly what it is. He's like, that's a military grade weapon. Why?
Yeah.
Why do you know that?
Well, but also,
Save my family, please.
yeah, right, because that it won't just be Gesicht that would die.
Right.
They're wanting to take them out all in one clean move.
Good man. Tell him
Right,
everything.
good
Yeah.
job.
Owning it all. Yep. Yep. Good.
And so-
Good. In their final moments, people show you who they really are. Yeah. Yeah.
My family don't have anything to do with this. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right. Holy shit! Whoa! And it'll look like they got them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because double tap.
We'll see about that.
I prefer to think of them as more guidelines. Oh. So that you'll be able to take the hit?
Oh, it's the shot from the panel in the beginning.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
He can probably read the fluctuations in his muscles and everything.
Holy.
Oh! He used
Holy
it defensively too!
Oh my god.
The shrapnel, the
Yeah.
pieces of the
Oh
shell.
my god. Night night.
And I'll read you your rights.
Holy shit.
God, he's so fucking terrifying.
あなたに聞きたい。人間の像は消えますか？
Oh, memory, yeah.
Right.
私が一番恐れていたのは
What's that? I'd hold on to it for too long. Yeah, yeah.
自分自身なんです。
Yep,
Fucking beautiful.
That's
incredible.
That's
I love it.
why we tell this
I love
story.
it.
Yeah.
明るい子だったのに
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That.
あんなことになってロボットも人間と同じように悲しむ。
Yeah.
構造センス
Hey! All the character designs. Yep.
悲しいのはお前だけじゃないぞ。アトムを失って。私より悲しんでる。
Damn. Wait.
What if she ran into Pluto?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that's what she's been kind of keyed into ever since she bumped into
Right.
Pluto Tenma.
あなたすごく悲しんでたの。お母さんは
Oh. No. Further.
電磁ネットがあるからそこから飛び降りても無駄よ。じゃあどうすればいいんだよ。僕なんか死んだ方がマシだ。
Wow.
わからない。だからお兄ちゃんも死にたい気持ちなんかなかった。なのに殺された。私今この子もすごく悲しんでたけど、
Hmm.
死にたいなんて思ってないよ。ミルクが欲しいよとかお腹空いたよしか考えてないもん。
Wow. Yeah.
かわいいなこいつ。あなたミルクあげてくれる？向こうでもっと悲しんでる人がいる。
Yep. Yep.
Is she being led somewhere?
No. She's
This is just how she's dealing with
No,
it?
no, this is how people, when I have
Yeah.
to save it for the discussion, but there's such a really cool conversation that's being explored here. Oh, I don't know what it is about Urasawa. He knows how to write like impassioned, emotional, quick
Yeah.
little things with old people, specifically like the elderly, and it always just hits. Whoa. Whoa.
shit.
Cool. Yep. A son. Yep.
Okay.
それよりも彼からまだ連絡がないのかね。彼？言っていただろう。元教官ない方は入れません。
Well,
私は元科学省長官。来てくれたんですね。待っていたんですよ。別れを告げに。アトムは死んだんだ。
yeah, but
トビオは死んだんだ。
wow. Is this Adam's brain? Like
I think so.
he's reviving him.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Basically neuron by neuron.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a genius at work.
別れを告げに来たなんて言いながら。あなたならやってくれ。
Oh, is he giving himself to
Or is
Adam?
or is he saying goodbye to the son that he was trying to replace with Adam?
Oh, maybe. And when you get a fixation, it's
見事な施術だ。冗談はやめてください。
right, because he worked on him to get him
Right.
to be, but then they continued his development.
君の修復作業で何の問題もない。では、なぜアトムは目覚めない？
Maybe there's something beyond the programming that you can't replace.
天馬博士。あなたゴジという人物を知りませんか？知らないね。その兵団が出来上がったのに、元はといえばあなたの開発した
Yeah.
ペルシア王国に流出したからじゃないですか。聞きたいかい？私は完全なロボットを作ったことがある。
Yeah.
その時私は何を聞こえたと思う？
I removed the limitations.
世界の人口99億と同じ数の人格を分析して、そのロボットは何にでもなる。怒り、弱虫、泣き虫、努力家、勉強家、勇者。目覚めなかったんだよ。いや、
Oh.
自ら目覚めるのを拒否したというべきか。
Like Adam is right now.
99億の混沌を一つの方向に到達すれば、
Okay.
そう、偏りこそが混沌の
Wow, that simplifies
That-
chaos. That's
yeah,
a
that-
line.
That makes so much sense.
Yep.
まさか天馬博士。
Yep.
もう今それと同じ状況だということですか。ありえない何かを感知して無限にシミュレートしている。アトムを目覚めさせるには偏った感情の注入だと。怪物が生まれてしまうかもしれない。
Okay. Well,
Urasawa loves his monsters.
yeah.
本物のトリオは交通事故で死んだ。
Yeah.
でも今は僕がいるよ。
トリオは片付けができなくて。
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, exactly. I predict that he's too perfect.
Yeah.
トリオはその料理が大嫌いだ。お前は私のことが好きか？
うん、大好きだよお父さん。
私はいつもトリオを届け
Just beating himself up with this, and it's just
Wow. Yeah, and nothing that he says will change his mind because, and the dissonance that Adam's lack of response even to the things that he's saying here just
Yep.
proves the point even further. We haven't seen Gesicht's face through the scene yet. That is surprising.
the prison where Darius was held. Yeah. B32, 32nd floor of the basement. You know, Jesus.
Ah.
Definitely seemed like a
Yeah, like an Armstrong.
Armstrong. Yeah.
あなたのような優秀なロボットがいれば、このペルシアの復興も早いだろうが、我が国は人口の検事から大量破壊ロボットを製造していない。
I didn't
Gesicht's
ask.
just quiet, just like
Yeah.
あなたにいくつか質問があります。こちらの刑務所の暮らしはどうですか？
get some small yeses, get some tiny agreements. Yeah.
30ものセキュリティがかかっています。不適切な発言はカットされるようにね。何の話だ？ごまかすのはやめてください。ユーロポールとあなた方の関係がどうであろうと、そんなものは関係ない。今は世界が危機に直面しているんだ。
Wait, what? Okay, okay, you can go in. Yeah.
Right, right.
あなたはボラ調査団のメンバー殺害を指示しましたか？奴らは嘘つき。
Yeah, in the eyes of God, here we go.
あの映画を起こったロボット文明も全て奪い去った。あなたはその恨みから大量破壊ロボット、怪物を作った。
Yeah, say the line. Yep.
作ったのではない。
It shows that.
最も優秀で汚れない。彼は生まれ変わったのだ。
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
強靭な体を手に入れただけで、
Uh huh.
彼の人工知能に芽生えた。これがプルートだ。プルート？誰だ？
Whoa!
手を貸してくれ。
Holy shit.
Yeah.
一命は取り留めましたが、
Nice. Nice. Hello.
Hi. Let's talk.
ヘラクレスの遺品です。
Perfect.
ヘラクレスが残したものは
Yeah. I saw. Yep. Yep.
今転送します。
Just direct transfer? Okay.
なんだこの画像は。まさか
Wow.
Holy shit.
プルート。
All right.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This episode
wow.
gave us such a thematically beautiful, rich exploration
Absolutely
of humanity.
beautiful. And the
Oh
thing
my
is,
God.
as many amazing things as there were this episode, Gesicht, having Adolf stand behind him as he shoots the rocket, and all that stuff. Fantastic shot.
Heracles taking Pluto down to the water.
Yep.
Having an actual full-on scrap to the point where he had to jump out and eject his own body to then get a piece of Pluto that he could then
try and
send to Epsilon and then get him something. Because I think he was trying to grab data from Pluto and then have his thing there, then basically be like, I died, but here's...
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I thought he was trying to, but
I don't think
go
he's
all guts on it with a spike.
Well, no, I think that might have been part of it, but it's the... Even if I don't get that, I still get
that's a good point.
Data.
But hands down, my favorite bit from this episode is the robot washing its hands.
Fuck yeah.
Holy shit.
That's genius.
I have played multiple robot Warforged droid, characters in TTRPGs where I'm like, yeah, let's explore the robots having emotions and things like that.
And that never came up.
Never come close to anything like that. Like that immediately just made me be like, holy fuck. Like Urasawa, bow down.
Yes.
Like that was like
there's so many things that you can explore from the nature of robots becoming human with regards to emotion through the physical acts that we do in response to emotion.
Oh yeah.
But the thing that is the problem with that is that has an element of logic to it in that the reason why we as humans, I believe, evolved to use emotion primarily as a way to process stuff is because it helps foster community. If you as a human being are vulnerable with your emotions, there is a possibility that another human can see that. And that vulnerability invites a connection opportunity for the community to grow a little stronger. And that gets propagated in their DNA over the course of
even from just
eons.
a survival, standpoint, right?
Oh, you're in pain. You're hurt.
Yeah, like I can't remember where I heard this, but that one of the first elements of intelligence, basically within a species, is a healed leg bone.
Yes.
Right, because that means if you have a broken leg out in the wild, you're dead. Right, you can't care for yourself. You can't get food.
Also, the other animals will abandon you.
Right. But if you have a healed leg wound, then that means that you were cared for
by another member of your species.
When you were not able to contribute yourself. Right. And so having something like that where then it's even if it is purely mechanical, maybe from the standpoint of you do this so that way if that happens to you, quid pro quo, right?
An example of this that's kind of the lower scale of this is the way in which the elderly and young are protected by the stronger members of the species.
Sure.
Animals that do this exceptionally well, showcasing their extreme intelligence for the animal scale of things, is elephants. Elephants actually provide, not just because they're large, so they haven't needed to develop much in the physical way over the many years, but they provide care in the proximal, kind of sentry sense for the ones that are weaker, smaller, slower, and all that.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And it extends, I believe, all the way up to the ones that are not providing as much for the herd, like the elderly, not just the young, where there's a potential maternal or paternal instinct.
Right. This is part of survival, That might be just part of the evolutionary process of the only ones that survived genetically were the ones that did that. So yeah.
But so this is amazing because we see the ways in which robots have, because of the episodes before this exposition, all robots have emotion. All of them. That's why in the very first episode, Gesicht had the moment where he was like, I'll give you 500 for the body. And it was just this moment where it triggered the emotion in him of why the fuck would you treat a person's body so callously like this?
Right.
Like they could just be handed off like a piece of junk.
Right.
Because he has emotion. It's not something that's completely able to be removed. He felt hatred for that person in that moment. And it's not some unique thing because, he's killed somebody. It is in that he's learned to hate because of that. But that hate begat itself before he killed, Adolf's brother.
Right.
It was born. It came from an accumulated myriad of things,
And I'm really glad that they didn't go for the thing that I would say would be more sensible from a practicality standpoint, but less interesting from a narrative standpoint of like, oh, robots don't have perfect, mechanical capabilities, even if they're super advanced. So you kill one by accident, right? Like, theoretically, if you have robots with different weapons and things like that, that would happen.
How he killed the brother.
Yeah, law of large numbers, that would happen at some point. Sure,
fact,
it maybe becomes a scandal, but it doesn't mean anything from a decision-making,
and
area.
to us, and this is why we haven't really treated Gesicht's previous kind of reveal of him killing someone as some great big thing, because we're like, well, the war happened. The robots used weapons.
Of course,
robots have been killed by humans have been killed by robots. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's just the question of how aware of it are you, and
was it accidental or not?
Yeah. Exactly.
But did
people find out, because maybe in this situation it was a war where lots of stuff was getting brushed under the rug or whatever.
So no, this is we're making a narrative distinction here by saying that's not what this is. Right. Gesicht clearly sought someone. Ignored orders, went above and beyond, if you will.
Was not the I'm going
make
to
sure
bring
that
them
he would
in.
kill this
it's
person.
I am going to
execute
them. I'm going to wipe them away from this world because they don't deserve to exist.
Right, and I love that they basically made the humans, his brother and then brother-in-law, Adolf and his wife, they had their moment of where they were like, but that was your brother, remember?
Right.
And it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because we're living in a world right now where robots not only have families, but humans have kids that are robots. Imagine if you have a couple that can't bear children. Oh, you can adopt a robot child.
Yep.
And it's effectively going to be your child. It will love you. It will feel with you. And because robots have, emotions, but blockers may be in place not for actual, presenting emotions, but maybe specifically some imbalanced ones.
Yeah,
or something
the
like
idea that maybe the reason why, because they made a lot of points about how, Adam is very hard to tell apart from a regular child.
Yeah, he's like the perfect child in that respect.
And I gotta say, I love the implied stuff that we get here because they went so in depth into the mechanics of everything, which the whole brain stuff and whatnot, I absolutely adore that for reasons. But he was very obviously a robot in the flashback with Tenma. Right, it's the kind of thing that you would expect.
That's what we predicted. We literally predicted that.
I'm the good child and all that stuff, right? And it's like, okay, but that's not.
You're not him,
right?
You're mimicking what you think a good boy should be,
right? But
I could have a dog, and
my
I would have a good boy.
Right, exactly. My son was also kind of a little shit, right? Because he was a kid, he's not going to want to study, And
I'm testing you by bringing in and addressing all the things that he would have hated.
Yep.
And because you're just responding in a way that you think I will like.
Right. And even if it's coming as a genuine decision-making process of no, this meal, a lot of thought was put into this meal. There's good ingredients in here. I'm not just doing it because I think that's what he wants to hear.
And maybe he
on a
has
mechanical
preferences.
standpoint, this is a good meal, And maybe he has preferences, right? To say that, cool. But you think a 6-year-old is gonna think about, all of that stuff when they're just like, I don't like the color of this thing or the texture, and so I don't like the meal as a whole, right?
And it's sad because, you can tell that the genius tried to make his son, basically.
Yeah, that was the goal.
That was the goal.
Yep, and it didn't work.
No.
And then, so the idea that then it's if you give all of the options so that they are capable of making any decision, that's not going to actually cause them to know how to evaluate those decisions. No. And in a lot of ways, that's the big difference between humans and robots, right? Yep. Even the idea of the robots being able to make any decision, I feel like that's not even that necessarily impressive.
No.
If you think about what robots would be like it's put in here in order to set up the specific mechanics and reasons why then the conflict is necessary,
because
right?
they don't do it in these cases.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah,
Contradiction.
how do you decide? Great point. And if you're deciding for yourself, which is what a human would do, then okay, like either you in a very complicated way try and simulate that in the programming, or you get it to know how to learn,
Right.
and then you give it stimuli so that it will, you know, truly consider all options, right? That it will actually explore itself. And you can't just do that with good experiences. And so the little implication that like Uran was in a lot of ways made to help Adam develop, right? Like I love that because yeah, he did end up becoming much more balanced, right? And his sister does really bother them. There are times when they fight and he doesn't really like her, you know, because well he's not supposed to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then you take that to the next extreme, right? And then add an actual war on top of that and everything. Yeah, that'd go a little messy.
Go a little deeper.
Yeah.
So yeah, we now have the thing that was born out of the received hatred and maybe even the implanted and infused hatred.
Right, because the hatred started before the war. That's one of the things that's fascinating because hatred after the war, okay, cool. But apparently the robot of mass destruction thing, that was actually true because they upgraded Pluto to have the capabilities to match the feelings that Pluto possessed. And I would say there is plenty of possibility for like any entity to develop all those strong negative feelings just by observation of the world.
Sure.
Like it doesn't need to be stuff that happens to them personally. Like my mind goes to the part in Fifth Element where she's going through the dictionary and then she gets to the word war, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, fuck, you know, right? This is terrible. But at the same time, it could also be something that was artificially injected in there because, well, all humans have some element of hatred, right? And so there we go. And, oh, hey, maybe it took root a bit better than we were thinking, you know? Or,
Right. And Pluto being this this entity that had the capacity to be anything,
right.
but was directed by human hands, feels so perfect as far as like the divine Prometheus kind of themes that are being explored here. The idea of humanity touching upon pure AI finally, or the thing that would evolve humanity to its next stage, like Prometheus with fire in the myth. But we didn't want the raw potential because that in some ways led to Pluto potentially trying to solve everything. And thus it just sat there and did nothing. But no, we wanted action now. We wanted in some ways a human. We didn't want actually a perfect godlike robot.
Right. We want something that will make mistakes.
We want something that will sufficiently something that will bring about our greed, something our desires.
Oh, okay.
I can't. It's basically the if humans made a god, a robot god basically, and then the god didn't do what you wanted it to do.
Right,
it just sat there and was like, "Oh, cool."
Right.
It's like a it's like a
Political
full
leader.
on it's a full on like artist. It just sits there and paints flowers.
Yeah.
Because you know what? That's what it determined is actually the most beneficial thing it can do. Because you gave it that.
That's fascinating. That wasn't the way that I took it, but I love that, and I'm glad that you brought that up because I don't think I ever would have thought of that. But yeah, I was seeing.
Well, they made it perfect, and it did nothing. That's what Tenma said. It just sat there and was asleep, and we know that it's not asleep.
Right. It's
know that something
actively working.
So that at the very least implies that the way it woke up was because negative stuff was infused in. Because and that ties into the disjointed feeling we have that Pluto is 2 in 1 in some ways, that it's both a body that has all the capacities to do these crazy things, but then it's also this tortured soul in the middle that has this godlike robot power attached to the brain part,
because even with 9 billion whatever personalities and the options and you could still come to decisions.
Yes.
Because robots are capable of reason, just like people are capable of reason. That's not the issue. It's that would take a very long time, and you might have to refine your reasonings, either narrowing them down or whatever. And the thing is that probably just won't happen without emotion as an impetus, right? Like theoretically, Adam could sit there for a very long time and eventually come back. And he
probably will.
And he'd have figured it out, and he'd be very balanced and all that stuff. And maybe he'd be different, maybe he wouldn't, But that'd take too long, right? So what if we just, put a little upset the established order, right? Put some adrenaline, maybe some fear of survival, like whatever in there.
And probably wasn't some immediate thing. It probably had to,
Sure.
overload it, to make sure that it would, end whatever that process was that was currently being run or something like that.
Yeah, this was a fascinating episode. I love that it was episode 5 specifically, because since this is like the first episode of the second half of the show, right?
Yeah, this is kind of the middle episode.
Yeah, it's kind of the middle episode. This is where we get that full understanding of the situation with, everything that's been happening, even though we don't know the details of how it's going to resolve, right? Like all the cards are kind of on the table now. And now it's just, okay, how does this sort out?
Yeah.
There will be mechanical complications as far as who goes where, who are the people that are manipulating Pluto and things like that. But the story's almost kind of done here from like a
from the thematic
exploration.
We've done the lion's share of it here,
and now it's the coming to the conclusions and figuring out the solutions.
Right, and they could still explore a lot, because the part that I'm kind of not 100% sure what they're implying here is that if Pluto could have become anything, there might have been a period of time where Pluto just went about and kind of wandered the earth, did their thing or what have you. But the idea that from the image that Gesicht had in his head is that the brothers' look is the same as Pluto's in the image of the Pluto amongst the field of flowers, which I love that image, and that's why I brought up Pluto became a gardener, like that's
sure.
It's I want to leave lasting beauty on the earth, so I'm going to Mr. Beast it up and just plant flowers everywhere. That could have been literally what Pluto did once he even woke up,
Sure.
And it's he's just doing this now. Okay.
Right. Well, and that's where, and this is where I'm going to mention the thing that I thought, and maybe this is just because of watching Attack on Titan. I thought that it's once everybody's gone, I can finally plant my flowers. Yeah,
you went and leapt 3 degrees into a theory.
Right.
Like I understand how you came to that conclusion, but that's a bit too many layers deep for the initial bit here, because this is very much a cliffhanger setup for what can be delved into with Gesicht's.
Right.
We've already seen that Gesicht has a little bit of an issue with the way his perspective focuses and fixates on things.
Yep.
Therefore, his mental thought process is one I can't entirely trust.
Yep.
Therefore, in what he's saying is I've effectively become Pluto and killed Pluto by that act. That's like the thematic thing I kind of see there. That if Pluto could become anything, right? And I have killed. I have done this in that regard. This is the
acknowledging of the aspects of yourself and the enemy, so that way you can know how to properly deal with the enemy, and not in like a know how to defeat them kind of thing. But in the understanding the problem, so that way you can actually think about what the solution is.
I mean, sure, that's a very specific way of looking at it. But what I'm getting at is basically that Pluto could have. Obviously, Gesicht doesn't have the conversation with Tenma in his head, so he doesn't know all this stuff here. But the idea that, Gesicht or connected it through this vision I have is a shared piece of info that makes him reminds him of Adolf's brother and stuff.
Okay.
But no, Adolf's brother was not a robot. It's not a literal thing here. So that's why I'm trying to take this as what's the non-literal ways in which he's exploring the thematic implications of this.
Did they do like a transition from the shot of
No, it's
Pluto
the
to
same
Adolf's
face.
brother?
Now, obviously, Urasawa has, a couple faces that he likes to use and stuff. But if you look at the face here, and then we go back into the very beginning of the episode, and there's a reason why they bookended this episode with the Gesicht's memory of hunting down and killing
The brother, yeah.
brother here. I mean, let me find the face here. It's very close. I can screenshot this shit so you can
I don't
see what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, I don't really see it.
You don't see it?
No.
Okay, well then I'm reaching way too deep into this here, and this is the problem of sometimes I watch animated stuff and I can't tell the difference between the faces here because
that's fair.
Is it supposed to be just the hair? The hair is irrelevant. His hair is also covered.
No.
and stuff.
Even the face. Looking at it, and maybe this. Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't see it.
He's got the same nose. He's got the same eyes. He's got the same narrow chin. Yeah, you don't see it?
No.
Okay. I mean, he's got a very specific expression in flashback here.
Right. So it's
we don't see his eyes open here, so we can't tell if they're blue or not. So.
Well,
So I personally see this as a thing of where the only reason why he would have some kind of you already know, and then it's what is the dramatic reveal of him seeing this face and going that's Pluto?
I don't think it's from the standpoint of looking at the face with regards to what the face looks like, but as far as the expression of the face, right? Seeing Pluto in this field of flowers, all peaceful and smiling, that's not what you would expect from the harbinger of vengeance that is going around ripping a robot's limb from limb.
Right. It's the thing that Epsilon said was the other flash of something
right
different.
Something entirely different, not hatred, right? This is the contradiction to that in a lot of ways is probably one of the things that makes Pluto so human, because even amongst humans, while you can feel that intense hatred and it can absolutely consume you, it's not even if it does consume you in what we would traditionally think, hatred is not your entire personality and existence, right? It just might be something that dominates everything else. Yeah. But there is more to it there. So in order to understand it completely, you got to understand all the other stuff. And that's where you can get the situations like the Adolf being yes, my brother was a monster and he deserved to die, but also fuck, he was my brother, right? And this guy killed him,
Yeah.
So
okay, I think you're right. I think this also ties into what Darius was saying about how he was born, but then he was also reborn because he needed a body that was suited to the hatred that spawned inside his AI.
Right.
Meaning that there was a point where he didn't have that hatred spawned inside his AI.
And maybe that's what that was. It's the before that hatred started. However it started, whether because of stuff that they specifically
human intervention
put into him or indirectly it happened or whatever.
I think it was absolutely human intervention. I think there's very much an implication that the way Tenma described it was that this is what occupied his mind.
Right. Even if he never physically was standing in a field of flowers. But the problem is that that's not something that's going to be particularly useful. To the scientist that's I want to create a real person. Yeah, if you become a grouch or become someone lazy or whatever, that's fine because great, that's your choice.
You know what I realized? Wait, the reason why this image is actually very powerful is because this is not necessarily real.
Right.
This is what Pluto dreamed.
Yeah, which
this is the what do robots dream of, you know? And it's he dreamed of a beautiful world.
Yeah.
And one that he probably was thinking through the processes of how could I create this?
Sure.
Because you could also argue that Pluto, by being given pure AI, wouldn't have necessarily any desires that would extend beyond itself until it had encountered those things.
Sure, no, that's a good point.
So the idea that it had found perfect nirvana and peace in this world that it had created internally.
No, that's a great point.
While it's there, it then calculates and iterates on all these things that it could think of.
Because how much of taking the whole thing of, in order for a robot to be just like a person, it would need to have access to all the negative emotions as well. Totally makes sense.
Sure.
But robots also have a disconnect from humans in that they don't necessarily have the same biological demands
Of survival.
Yep. That would make it so that then they would need to do something and then they'd start from there, right?
Yeah.
So, humans need to eat, right?
Yeah.
They need to breathe. And robots need power, sure, but like as a result of that drives a lot of human behavior.
Yeah.
And so then that's a place to start from. And then maybe because, oh, hey, when I'm with this person, we form a community
Right.
and it's easier for us to find food,
Yeah.
I like that. That's good, and then that builds off of it and then it turns into, say, human civilization or something, right? Whereas with a robot, if they don't have any of that, if they truly are able to just exist in this purely cerebral space, they, maybe they still aren't at that human level because they don't have some established system that will input priorities,
Right.
And so it truly is just a neutral, any option is just as good as the next.
Right. And I think that that's where we can tie things back to Uran here, is that she does not have the capacity of Pluto to just sit in a space where loss has happened and all these horrible things that, you could be instantly connected to and understand, because
yeah, she feels the suffering of other people,
she
and then
feels
it's
the suffering
like,
of other people.
oh, I want to help them. Yeah,
Right. And that's something that overrides her own desire to be in grief, basically. And thus it builds, well, in some ways, the community. It builds the connection here. And so as she goes around helping the cat, the kid, the old man, she's solving something that is innately tied to her own sorrow.
right. It's little external bits of data or whatever, that can then basically be iterated on. Like it's a seed for the random number generator, right? Where then from there you're like, okay, cool, I can work with this, I can respond to this in some way, and then that might help equip me with the tools to then deal with my current situation.
Yeah. And I loved how nonlinear this episode was, because it gives you a lot to kind of think about. But then she ends up going to the place where Tenma was, looking at
I also love because
Tobio's grave, the idea of him having died twice. So then it's showing that the part here where Adam was reawakened has potential like non-linearity to it, with regards to the idea of him grieving Adam effectively, or Tobio having died twice.
well, I think it's that by the end he realized, no, I did have another son,
Right.
and it was Adam, and
Yes.
he just died. So
Yeah.
shit, I lost my son twice.
Right.
Which is the sort of close loop on the dinner scene where he's like, "You're not my son," right?
Right, and that's the first time, if you will, or no, that's the second time, in that he then handed Adam over to basically the world for
Right.
the purpose of then being
He
made.
removed himself from Adam's life, and
because-
during that time, Adam came into his own.
came into his own, became something more, and that's why he then went into the whole thing is like, wow, I'm impressed with all the things you did to update Adam. He was truly amazing. And then, of course, Adam died at the hands of Pluto. But
And maybe
then,
he was truly looking to say goodbye when he went there, and then he just checked over everything, and he's like, wow, no, this actually does feel... shit, this is my son.
This is my son, so
all right,
I
gotta
have to save him.
Yeah.
And so he then starts infusing his own
Right. But when it comes
negatives into him to wake him back up.
well, I think it's that he hasn't done that yet.
No, but he definitely was
thinking about it, right?
he's in the process of doing it.
Well, because he did the 18 hours or whatever to give Adam all the options, right?
Well, no. He said, did you just do that? Was he in the same state there? And he says, yes, he might come back a monster.
I thought that what he was saying was that, right, Adam's in the same state because he has all the options, and now it's the I can't decide, right? And so that's why he hasn't woken up. And then it's the, are you suggesting we infuse Adam with unbalanced emotions to wake him? And he's like, yes.
Right,
it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
And I think, and that's maybe where the conflict comes in, because he's like, now I'm realizing a bit more how badly this can go. Mm-hmm. And that was maybe one of the parts that I thought was kind of odd, is that it seemed like Tenma wasn't aware of the situation of Pluto. And like, I get that it's an investigation, but it's also like national news,
No, it's not national news. See, that's the thing. Okay. It's not actually.
It's just there have been murders, but not, it's not like they're going to talk about the details of it.
No. Like they would never talk about the details.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
So that's yeah. Mm-hmm. And also they've probably been keeping it specifically to the more public kind of aspects there. The
right. You don't want to start a panic of like, there's some killer robot that's going around.
And it's working. It's succeeding.
Right. It's succeeding, and also it's killed humans. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, we'll end up seeing how that plays out. But, yeah. Darius did end up basically getting his hands on what was Tenma's creation.
Right.
And it is interesting, but Tenma is a character where I can't tell if his character is informed by the feelings of regret about his decisions regarding making a perfect robot and stuff. Because in an episode previous to this, he was mentioning how we shouldn't go in that direction.
Right.
And yet here he is like talking about how like amazing it was that so it's something where
like the fact that he was saying we shouldn't do that,
when
granted was a while ago.
Yeah.
But, that would imply that, like, if there was a robot that he made like that.
It was a while ago.
It was a while ago because, he did say he got commissioned to do that, basically. Mm-hmm. And the only way to make it truly wake up and all that stuff would be to do all of these things. And maybe that's also why he's like, yeah, no, we really don't want to progress this anymore, because even if he wasn't, like, one of the people that, like, instigated all the negative emotions in Pluto.
Oh, I don't think he was at all.
I don't think it was. But if he knew that that's what was necessary, then it's the, yeah, no, we should stop here. This is the best that we've got, right? And so let's leave it at that. But now because his son's dead, he's like, shit. That's how this started, right? With Adam and everything. And so now it's the, do I take it that next step further, even though, my conscience is probably telling me it's a bad idea, but at the same time, he's my son.
Yeah, we'll see.
But
yeah. Which is why, again, I'm confused as to where his motivations lie with regards to we shouldn't do this, but I'm about to do this again.
And then on top of that, the whole thing with Darius the 14th, where the implication is that he put all these negative emotions into Pluto.
No, he didn't necessarily. He just oversaw it.
Sure, not him like directly, but like, within his organization and probably at his command. And yet,
again, that's also a thing of where, like, maybe now that I'm thinking about it, he didn't necessarily have to have done that.
No, totally.
He actually probably says he's untarnished. He was blessed by God. That's all the stuff of where, he saw the perfect result before the emotions were put in.
And that's why, exactly. And that's why that kind of information happening, and then also him trying to kill himself so that way, like, he doesn't say anything more. Like, like that gives me some wild theories of, okay, what actually did go down? Because this is,
Well, Pluto is meant to be the replacement for humans. I think that's the point, is that they did create a robot god, basically. Something that could restart the occupation of Earth from the species, a dominant species standpoint.
Right. And that's the motivation, and as a result of that, it's the, no, we weren't trying to, do the things that other people are thinking of, but
we
did things that might indirectly like. And,
it definitely looks like that from a perspective.
But the tough bit is that from the things that he was saying, it was very much no, we were just trying to, like we weren't necessarily trying to supplant the human race or whatever. But
no, he was saying that at the court tribunal. Not with Gesicht, but he was talking about that at the tribunal of like humans are not loved by God. We need to bring about the new species that will replace them.
No,
Yeah.
totally. But when he was talking about how like what he did basically, and then my country got returned to desert, right? The things that he was saying, it felt like he was genuinely surprised that would be the kind of response of like, I wasn't trying to do something bad, and then holy shit. After that, I could totally see him being like, yeah, humans suck. We should be done. But, was it actually like, was he just delusional of like, yes, no, humans should totally be fine with the fact that I'm trying to wipe out the human race?
He was saying humans are liars. Humans are deceivers. Of course they would do this. He had no like shock in him or anything. He's living a man post this event. So we can't know what his space would have been in before his country was reduced to ashes.
No, I know. I guess he's decrying the injustice of it.
Yeah.
But if he was actually trying to like, supplant the human race as a whole, I feel like you'd have to be pretty delusional to actually see that as being an injustice of like, yes.
That's very possible though.
Sure, but yeah, I don't know.
But that's what he said though. In the hearing, he was like, I wanted to have humans, the beings that have essentially are a failed creation, be replaced. Yeah. Humans lie. Humanity is in need of replacement. Yeah. This is a man that has been. You're full of contradictions. Didn't you do this? There are no contradictions.
There was no slaughter.
Yeah. I think the point that he's bringing up is that he's like, no, I was trying to build a robot utopia. That you all were deceived.
Sure.
I didn't kill. Because the reason why the war was started originally was that there was a robot rights violations because the law was introduced immediately
because they knew that there would be a violation. Yeah.
And then they were like, and we found also robot WMDs.
Right. So maybe it's we were just turning ourselves into a robot country.
Right.
Cool. Okay. Right. And then, hey, you guys are like, no, we don't like that, so we're going to wipe you out.
Yeah. But I think at this point, regardless of whether he believed this before, he believes now that humans are in need of being replaced by robots, which is a very much
that's a fairly understand. Like I am.
Well, I mean, no, it's a okay. Start with you. Go walk off a bridge.
Well, see, as someone who would totally end up agreeing to be digitized, when that technology ends up being developed and all that stuff.
No, you would be too slow, Jacob. You would be too slow. That's the point of this kind of thinking is yeah.
But would you be? Right, and that's a whole other conversation.
No,
but like, personally, I see a lot of ways in which like, yes, if you got robots to actually truly be capable of all the things that humans can do, I mean, why not? At that point, it's like, isn't it just a bunch of really complicated, like interwoven, like cybernetic upgrades? But
no, like you guys need to be treated.
Become a robot?
You need to be. Well, it's the thing that it becomes a very quickly scary kind of thing. There is that, do you have rights? Mm-hmm. Like, no, do you?
Well, I mean, I would say yes, but
right.
Other people could be like, no, we say that you don't.
Right. No, because if humans have the ability to grant rights, then they also have the ability to take away rights. Then you don't have rights; you have privileges.
Well, George
Carlin.
No, but that's the whole point. Is that when you ask people, do these people have rights? It's not the question of whether we're bestowing these rights; it's whether we're recognizing the rights that we say are already there.
Right, and that is not provable by anything.
Of course not. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
right. So therefore, if you go down this route, it basically becomes a thing where you have no problems with then slaughtering people because it's you're then slow.
What?
No, it's the dark fucked up thing that people throughout history have come to the reasonings of.
No. People will always, and robots would do this too if you truly had them replace humans like this, right?
Yes.
Find excuses to justify or just choose not to justify and not think about the things that benefit them that are a lot of others would consider atrocious.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
And humans do this all the time.
Humans do this all the time,
Yep.
and robots would absolutely also do this if you had them fully replace humans, right?
Yep.
So that's like whether it's a violation of rights or whatever, that's not going to matter to the people that are doing it. So it's
Right.
Why is that that feels like a non-starter with regards to the conversation.
But it is in that if you believe then that something needs to be replaced, what you're effectively saying is that humans have no value in the world that I envision, and thus they need to be removed. Like there's a difference between being upgraded, like you're saying. Which is very different than being replaced.
Right, but like.
I'm just saying that this is a guy who has been broken down by the world betraying him in that regard. And thus, I don't take much of what he says here with any real, seriousness with regards to where he was before the war. It's very much he originally had a vision. He was introduced to hatred thematically. That's basically what we're seeing here. That hatred warped him. He now is filled with hate as well.
Right.
And it's what is the most scary thing in an Urasawa story is someone who surrendered to their monster. That's what the story is kind of exploring here, is that he then, because of that, sees humanity as being, needing of being exterminated and replaced by, robots and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But damn.
Oh boy.
All right, so Epsilon and Gesicht, only ones left.
Yeah.
Only ones left. And that's going to change real quick.
Yeah. Do you think Epsilon's going to die in the next episode or the one after that?
Two.
Yeah, I'd say 2 as well. Just to sort of shake up the dynamic a little bit.
Well, I think it's because Pluto is going to be unmasked probably by the second to last episode.
Okay.
And I think Adam will be brought back in that second to last episode or in the last episode.
Sure.
And that's where you can have the terrifying 2 monsters and then our human, Gesicht, effectively, in the middle, who's found balance amidst all of this.
Okay.
Because they've been setting him up mechanically to be able to handle a battle of the god or the gods if Adam becomes, a monster.
Or at the very least have an understanding of the journey to being a monster.
No. He literally has been said in the first episode. I've been waiting for this to be brought up. It's literally Chekhov's resistance, and that he's able to withstand extreme electromagnetic stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep. That I heard that exposition show. I'm not letting it go. Yep. I'm waiting until there's that moment where Gesicht just stands in the storm, and just takes the EM waves, and it's the memories and the pain of all these people and robots and everything, and he takes it all in him and screams into the void, and it's
absolutely
it's going to be
fantastic.
art. It'll be
it'll be amazing.
But okay,
all right, Field of flowers,
beautiful. Yes, let's go find Pluto in his field of flowers,
and maybe wash some hands.
Fuck yeah. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon and get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. And also be sure to check out my Twitch channel. Just finished up Baldur's Gate 3 recently. I'm going to be starting something new next. But yeah, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.